Hello little friends, today I have a very special video for you. It is a little bit of a follow-up to my previous video, my top 3 tips for writing dialogue, and it's going to be dealing with the idea of dialogue tags. What are they? Why are they important? How can we make them better? I'll let you know all of those things in a little bit. Before we go anywhere though, allow me to give you the formal disclaimer and remind you that the following is merely just my advice, my opinion, and what works for me. Don't take it as gospel, instead take it as another point of view on this issue. First off, what is a dialogue tag? Well, a dialogue tag is the text that goes after a piece of dialogue that tells the reader who was talking, how they spoke, and any other actions they took in the middle of said dialogue. The simplest tag can be something like he said, she said, sir said. Now, why are dialogue tags important? I personally believe that dialogue tags are incredibly important to a story because it does not only show the reader who is talking, which is incredibly meaningful information, but also lets them know how the character is speaking. And not only that, but also their body language and their tone, and that at times may actually be as meaningful as the dialogue itself. Also, I strongly believe that dialogue tags are necessary in situations where you have multiple characters in the same conversation. The last thing you want is for your reader to actually have to reread passages to double check who is actually talking. Now, I know some people don't like this, but I feel the need to share this. In my experience with writing and with giving feedback and when doing, formal critiques of stories, there is one technical error that I consider to be unforgivable, and that is conversations in writing, conversations between more than 2 people that have no tags whatsoever. That to me is the kiss of death, because every time I stumble on one of those, I lose the ability to know who is actually talking, and throws me out of the story, and I end up rereading passages and being entirely confused. Those of you who follow my blog and have followed the channel forever could have probably seen that coming. I believe that anything that can break the reader's immersion has to be taken care of as soon as possible, and a big conversation between multiple characters with no tags, that is just a minefield. And I feel that, as some people don't like, tagging dialogue because they feel that the repetition brings the reader out, I think that that necessary evil is better than the evil of confusing your reader. And like me many times, having to go back and reread passages going, okay, she said that, then they say that, then I have no idea who's saying this line right here. Again, you want the reader to be immersed in your story. You want them to feel like they are in that world, and anything that can break immersion is something that needs to be taken care of. Now, with all of those things out of the way, let's actually start talking about the question that I got. Now, in the question that I got, there was an implication of not knowing how to tag things and when to tag things, especially in situations where characters were just talking. When it comes to tags, I have 2 options for you. Number 1, if the characters are really just talking, and if there's really nothing else going on, nothing in the background, nothing in their movements, nothing important that the reader needs to know, then minimal tags are fine by me. Simple as that. I am the first person in this universe who is going to tell you to not add unnecessary buffer or filler just to not have plain dialogue. If there's really nothing else going on, then simple text will do. Again, if there's really nothing going on and there's no information you want to give to the reader, then he said, Mary said is absolutely fine by me. You're letting the reader know who is talking. There's absolutely no ambiguity. No problem here. Now, as for option 2, I have to be honest and admit that I don't believe people just talk. There is more to writing dialogue and to dialogue in real life than what people merely say. What about body language, and tone, and volume, and presence? As the saying goes, it's not what you say, but how you say it that matters. I personally believe that the most powerful tool that you have as the writer is the power of description. Your characters speaking. How are they behaving? How are they moving? What tone, what volume, what presence, what body language are they showing to each other? As for me, I've learned to be able to look at these things, and it takes a little bit of practice, yes, like anything else in writing, but once you start able to just open your eyes and look at your character's behavior and relaying that to the reader, it becomes so much more colorful and flavorful. Of course, learning to do stuff like this takes a little bit of practice, so you know what? Let's practice right now. I am going to read the exact same piece of dialogue 2 times, and you feel free to absolutely write this piece of dialogue in your own descriptive nature and post it in the comments below. Let me know how you would write this piece of dialogue. The line is going to be, Can't you see, you mean everything to me. Of course, I'm gonna read it twice in 2 different voices, and your job is gonna be to write down and describe to you what you see. My body language, my tone, my presence, my volume, all of those things, wrap them up in one particular piece of description and let the reader know how I did things. Let them see what you saw. Again, be as descriptive as you want to be or as brief as you want to be, and feel free to post it in the comments below once you're done. At the count of 1, 2, 3. Can't you see? You mean everything to me. Can't you see? You mean everything to me! There is so much to body language, even when it's just 2 people talking. This is actually one of those times when I would recommend you to go check out movies and live theater, because acting is the art of body language, and if you can analyze it, if you can look at it in depth and, be able to relay it to people, I think it will be perfect training for being able to look at your own characters and relay their own body language and their own acting to their readers. Now, I'm gonna make this very clear right now. Do I think every single line of dialogue needs to have an incredibly in-depth piece of description tag to go with it? Not really. I think that if there's anything that you think the reader should know, you should tell that to them. Absolutely. And those of you who know me very well, I don't feel keen at all towards filler, whether it is descriptions or plot filler. So if there's something the reader needs to know, let them know. Describe it to them. Show it to them. And if it's not important, just a simple tag to let the reader know who's talking goes a long way. Now, the final point that I want you to take from this is that you should not be afraid of having a descriptive dialogue tag, because ultimately the act of telling a story, the act of writing, is to share a story with somebody, to show them what you saw within this story. And I'll tell you a secret right now, okay? There's a saying that, people say all the time that it goes a little bit like show, don't tell. Now, I had a lot of trouble with this saying because nobody ever explained it to me. Now I'm gonna explain it to you right now. Showing is a fancy word for description. Describe. Don't tell me what the character did. Show me how they did it. Describe it to me so that I can see it the same way you saw it. And if just for a little moment, make that character be as real as the person sitting next to me. Never forget, the most powerful force a writer has is the power of description. And I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps, and that, if anything, I've given you another point of view, another way to go about looking at things. If you don't agree with everything I said here, it's alright. Feel free. You have my permission and my license to go through the entirety of my advice and take out what you don't like and take what you like and create your own way of making dialogue tags. There are no hard rules for writing, merely just what people do for their own sake. So you know what I do, you know how I like to go about doing things. Now create a better way for yourself. With all of those things said, I want to thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, do all of the socially related things, and if you would like even more writing advice, feel free to head over to my official writing blog over at maxkieran.tumblr.com. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll be seeing you soon! Mwah! So, why this smaller video today? Welcome to the outro, the editorial. This is actually just really quick. Consider this a mini thank you note. This video is going up on my birthday, and I want to dedicate a little bit of my time to thank all of you for watching my videos and liking and, sharing your thoughts in the comments. All of those things mean volumes. You have no idea how meaningful they are. Not only for search engine results and to make sure that people find me and, see more of my content and subscribe and, to allow my channel to grow even more. It's just, I love seeing your engagement and, I love seeing the view counts and I love seeing your comments, and it's actually rather touching for me because, it's a long journey, whether it is a blog or a YouTube channel or anything else, going out into the world and sending bottles, to quote Neil Gaiman, sending out bottles and getting some bottles back is actually kind of amazing, and it means a lot to me. So, thank you for watching my videos, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, sometimes a little bit more than a little bit of your day, but you get my flow. As always, thank you, and thank you for the likes, and it seriously does mean a lot. Like, people outside of YouTube don't know how much that means. It means so much, because it basically guarantees you being the first search result. It's kind of amazing. Like, if somebody looks for dialogue, and if this video has a lot of, likes, this video will show up first, and that is monumental, because it means more people look at my content, more people see me, more people subscribe, and the channel keeps to grow, keeps growing. It is like rain to the harvest of our times. I don't know, I was feeling really flowery there for a moment. I should have made it about flowers, not harvests. Darn it! All the silliness out of the way, though. As always, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for, watching my content, and, let's go out and keep doing our best.